Hi everyone, I'm Sari Kontra and I'm working in Vantaa, close to Helsinki International Airport here in Finland as a special education teacher. Yeah, like I said, there are many pupils who will finish schooling this spring, no matter what is going on in our lives and what's going on in the world. This virus doesn't know the calendar, so it doesn't follow the dates or the weeks that we are passing by at this time as well. So we have some ninth graders who are actually finishing schooling and applying to start in a vocational school or in the high school or senior secondary school here in Finland. And that's their future, then we should achieve that together. And therefore, these pupils who have this leap or step to take, they need some extra support, so they will have their grades and they will have their notes and school reports ready for the future, because the future still awaits no matter what is. And with these ninth graders, I have been working very closely together. There are almost every day one of those ninth graders. We have, how many we have together? Altogether, I'd say 60 ninth graders we have. We teachers, we make plans and we build up programs that they are able to achieve their grades and they are able to get their school reports on time, because that's also the thing and the challenge we face here, that we don't have that much time left when we come back to school. Now what we know, this is the 4th of May today. We should get back to school in 10 days on the 14th of May. So that will be next week, Thursday. And pedagogically or educationally, we don't have that many goals and aims to achieve that time, but of course it's also the thing that we need to support those who are not able to study at home, and then at least we get a few weeks to do some plans and make some plans, and also to get our thoughts together for the next year if these kind of exceptional times will continue. And also, what shall we do if we are facing this kind of a period also in August or later in the autumn? So then we need to know what to do next. And I say it's also very nice to see our colleagues who have been working from homes since 19th of March, so almost 2 months at that time. But our ninth graders are those two we need to take care of very much, because they need to get further, and that's why I have been working with them and got some information from the homeroom teachers or the subject teachers who have shared some information with me and our other special education teachers, that this and this should be done, and please could you check that this assignment will be done by that time, and so on. And now, because we are not working at school, although I have these pupils and students coming over every now and then, but it's not the same thing than to have the whole bunch of pupils here around you all the time, and that you are able to plan everything and build up the days and build up the programs in a way that you are able to support them no matter what. Because now there are also challenges that we don't actually know very well enough. There are also students and pupils who sleep rather late and then they are awake until very small hours, so let's say still around 3 or 4 a.m. So those pupils are facing challenges, and unfortunately among our ninth graders we have also that kind of students. And then we also have students who are not able to see anyone because of the virus situation, and they are not able to see or come to school because they have some very ill people in their family, or they are under dangers themselves. If they get ill, if they get the virus, they will get very ill. So that's why we need to make some different kinds of programs and ideas and ways to work. And that's why I have been working with my ninth graders that way, that I have had many video meetings, and I have made so many phone calls that I have probably never made. I've also filmed some videos and shared information that way, and luckily we have these programs that we're able to keep in touch with our pupils. Ulpo will tell more about them. Let's say we have these chat programs that we're able to see if the pupil is online or then on the classroom program, which is actually the place where all this homeschooling happens. So they have assignments and exams and also the slides there, so they can see, both teachers and pupils, what should be done and who has done and who hasn't done, and who's probably the person who should see me or other special education teachers in our school. And I'm also getting all the information from there, so I know what the others have done, so then I can support them in that way. But sometimes there are also pupils, and also among our ninth graders we have some pupils who have some very specific parts of the subject that need to get done. Let's say Finnish literature has been a challenge for some of our ninth graders, and that's why I have made up a completely new way to do that. They should have read one Finnish book, let's say these very important books from our history, and it was kind of like a challenge for some people because they have had also learning difficulties and dyslexia. So that's why reading a book might be a bit challenging. So I found an audiobook. They were able to listen at home, and then I made a few questions about that book that they are able to answer. And they also saw the questions in advance, so they were able to answer in those questions already while listening. So then I just checked those questions together with them. So because in these times we shouldn't be too strict, if you get me correctly. Nowadays we speak about hitting the targets and all kinds of learning plans and such, and they are very, very important. But we should also think what's the best for the pupil and the student. If we are too strict and if we are not flexible with teachers, we start facing those problems we already actually had, but they start growing because our pupils are not able to achieve those aims or make those assignments and so on. And the role of a teacher is to guide us and to guide the pupils through this challenging time, which is very exceptional, which is new for us all. So we should be able to support our pupils and students, that they are able to get further in their lives, and they should be able to go on because if we are now too strict and we are not giving new methods, or if we are not willing to cooperate with them now, it might be that these students will drop out because of that they are not actually able to go further. And I'd say that it's not their fault that we have this situation now, and they have had school for 8 years and pretty many months already, so it's not the thing that now they should do this and this, like completely underlined and correctly. But they should have the topic, they should have all those things we have in our national core curriculum, but there are also many ways we are able to show, or they are able to show, that they know those things and they have learned. And that's why I say that it's also one of the most important tasks for us teachers to create these new ways how we can have, or how our pupils are able to show what they have learned and what they can. Because otherwise we face the situation when we have too many class skippers or too many of those students who are not able to go further because of those too strict guidelines we try to follow in this situation. And about the working material I use here for those pupils who need to get their stuff done during this time, and if they're like finishing schooling or anything. For instance, now I'm modifying one exam I got from the Finnish subject teacher that I'm also myself. I had Finnish language and literature as my minor at the university, so I am actually a qualified teacher for that as well. So that makes it actually pretty easy to modify and teach those subjects. You actually have a qualification yourself. And I am modifying the exam in a way that the student and the pupil is able to answer pretty easily. So that's not too difficult for this time, but still we can see that those students and pupils are able, that they are achieving the same goals that they have in their national core curriculum. And we have also had smaller groups here at school. We have this limitation of having 10 people in the same place at a time. So that means that we are not able to have big groups of pupils. But let's say last Monday, I had 3 7th graders working here. And they had the same project they had to finish. So then it was rather easy to guide them and teach them at the same time, because they were working with the same thing. And of course, those pupils were already that kinds of pupils I knew before. So it was also pretty easy to have the nice chat with them, because they weren't that many. And then of course I'm guiding many ways. I'm sending links via WhatsApp for my pupils that they are able to do some exams they haven't found online, or they haven't got any messages from the teachers. Then I'm building bridges between them and joining many online meetings and conferences, and supporting and consulting many teachers and parents in these topics. Let's say, how should the school be done, or how should we support this and this kinds of pupils during this time. In Finland, we have the guideline and we have the rule that if the pupil is if the pupil has got special needs and his or her status is officially a student or pupil who is under this special support, so he or she has got let's say a diagnosis of a dyslexia, or for one or other reason has got problems with the language. We have in Vantaa, we have a pretty big number of those pupils who speak Finnish as their second language or even third language, so they have already many languages at home. Then you have the right to get more support, and then we are able to build up and make up this kind of exceptional ways to achieve these goals and aims you should face and get done also during this time. We don't know what happens next week. In 10 days when we come back, we have many big plans, and also in these areas where all the schools are already full, and we have got some information already about that we shouldn't have that many pupils in the same place, or colleagues shouldn't meet each other, or one teacher should have the same group all the time. We don't know how it will work out. We will find, or if we are working in different hours, some pupils, some teachers in the morning and some other people then in the afternoon. We don't know that. What we know for sure is that we are not making this this spring any longer. So we are not having any extra days here at school because we didn't finish or quit schooling, or we didn't cancel schooling or teaching or learning during this lockdown period that happened in many other countries. So we have been working all the time. And then of course we know that already for sure that there will be more challenges and there will be more needs among our pupils because of this lockdown time. We don't know yet how we will face and how we will fight against those, but that's the thing we know for sure, that there will be more pupils who will need some extra support because everybody hasn't been able to work that smoothly at home, or then they might have had different kinds of support than at home. And that's why we have also tried to find those pupils early enough so we could have arranged some support or face-to-face support for them. So there are actually many question marks in the air, and we teachers are actually having both sides here now, that we should get back to work, or how we should get back to work, or whether we should not get back to work or back to school. We have been working all the time. And of course then in this society there are also many opinions about that. So we'll see how it will work out, because like I said, the buildings and the areas are also the big or the limitations that we are not able to be in the same place with the others. So that's also a big challenge, but we'll see how it works out.